Okay. You got your access? This one?
Yeah, we all got it.
Yeah, Deepak, we got it there. We
Okay,
got
great.
that.
Open one customer. Which is my sales role here? Which is my sales role?
This FLC CU01, right?
Okay, right. Correct.
Yeah.
Let's take this one. Okay, so we were under this one. Shipping condition we have covered. Now this POD relevance and POD time frame. Okay, these two are interconnected basically. What for we use it? For some cases, generally what happens, you create a sales order, you create a delivery, okay, you do the post good issue, and then you do the billing. Okay. So here you don't have a control whether, let's say you send 10 ton of something, right? 10 ton of coal material, something you send 10 ton in the truck. But the customer is complaining that he only got 8 ton or 9 ton or some quantity less than what you have shipped from your plant. So there could be some sort of ambiguity and some sort of discrepancy will be there, right? The customer will say, no, why I will pay for 10 ton because I only received 8 tons, right? And also in some companies, actually, it's a legal requirement that unless until you get the confirmation from the customer that he has received the goods, you cannot create the billing. Means you will create the order, you will create the delivery. Delivery means outbound delivery. You will do the post good issue. Now you cannot create invoice until unless the customer confirms that he has received the goods. Okay, so that sort of confirmation is required from the customer before creating the invoice. So that we call it proof of delivery, POD. Okay, if you mark this field, then only the customer is eligible for that POD relevance criteria. If you have not checked it, that's a normal customer, normal sales case, normal sales cycle will follow order, delivery, billing. That's it. No need to wait for confirmation from order. But for, as I said, for some company and for some sort of certain business, this is required that you first get the confirmation before creating the billing document. So you need to check this box, check this tick box. Okay, and also uh, this is a T code basically. When you put this checkbox actually, so what will happen? You create order, you create outbound delivery, you do the PGI. Now, how you will receive that confirmation from the customer that okay, he has received the good. Maybe he'll call you over phone, or will give you some mail, right? Something, some sort of other communication will be there. But in SAP, how SAP will understand? So you need to perform one transaction, VLPOD, okay, and then you it's just a normal like we do PJ. It's a small one-step process actually. And then you do confirm that okay that POD has been goods has been received by the customer, and then you can create the invoice. Another advantage of having this POD actually, as I said, let's say you sent 8 ton of some 8 ton of some coal material, but the customer only received 9 ton. Okay, for some reason, let's say by air it got swept away or any reason. Now you are also agreeing. Okay, I understood. I said 10 ton, but some reason 1 ton got lost in air or some moisture came and something happened. And now you have only received 9 ton, and I can bill only 9 ton. So if you have the POD, so that quantity you can enter. When you do POD, it will give the whole 10 ton quantity. It will come automatically. you can reduce this to 9 tons. That means you have sent 10 tons, but the customer has received 9 tons. So now when you create the billing, system will take that 9 tons instead of that original quantity, which was there 10 tons. Correct? So you can create the billing on the actual quantity which customer has received. Yes. And since it's a POD, let's say a customer is a POD relevance customer, you send some good to them. There should be some time limit, right? It should not be like, okay, today I've sent good, I will wait till infinitive for the confirmation. No, right? There will be some time limit, 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, I will wait. If you have not confirmed, I will create the billing. I cannot keep my system open, right? That the outbound delivery cannot be left open for infinitive time, right? So that time frame also you have to maintain in number of days basically. So what happens? Let's say you sent today, 23rd, some goods to some customer. The goods, let's say the transit time is from your plant to the end customer location, it takes some 5 days. So to be on the safer side, you will maintain some 8 days or 10 days as a POD relevance, right? Maybe if some transportation issue or something could happen. So maybe 1 2 day plus extra. So you to be on the safer side, you maintain 10 days as a POD. Now what will happen within this 10 days period, you cannot create the billing unless you do this VLPOD, means proof of delivery transaction you do. You cannot create. But once this time frame is passed, let's say on 20, let's say 4th of May, that 10 days passed, right? That time system will not check this POD relevance thing. System will, you can go to billing and system can create the billing directly. System will not wait now because the 10 days time period is over. Clear? So that we maintain in number of days. You also need to remember this one. How we maintain in number of days. You maintain 20, that means 20 days. 30 means 30 days. Okay. Number of days you need to maintain this one. Now here POD thing. What is POD? Any
So
confusion?
it's like proof of delivery.
Right.
If you check it, if you check that, like once the delivery is, once you receive the acknowledgement from the customer, then only it will allow to create the invoice.
Right. Exactly. And how much time you will wait? Some
Uh,
time frame it will there be, right? That number of days you will maintain here.
yes, yes.
If the time frame is passed, then system will not check that POD thing whether POD happened or not. System can create invoice directly. Cannot wait. Okay. The advantage, as I said, some legal requirement is there in some company, and some cases you want to bill the actual quantity what customer has received and not the quantity which you sent. In some sort of business, this discrepancy happens actually that you sent something but the customer received something less. Okay. So in those kinds of scenario, it will help you to do the actual billing. Okay. Now this complete delivery. Okay. This is another checkbox I believe. You see this checkbox. So what this checkbox does actually, you see, system will not allow to click partial delivery, and system will not even allow confirming partial quantity. What it means, let's say, uh, this is our right. Okay. Okay. Let's say you asked for 100 quantity of something. The customer came and he's asking 100 quantity. Okay. Let's say the customer is anyone. Let's say it's Kusman. Kusman has asked for 100 piece of quantity from a company. Now, in my company, if I see my stock of that material, let's say the material is ABC, okay, any material. Now, let's say when I see my stock, let's say Kuswant is asking on 28th, okay, that he wants 100 piece of ABC material. And when I checked the stock in my company, I saw that on 28th, I have only 50 pieces. And on 30 I will get another 50 pieces. Let's say it will get produced or I will buy it from some vendor. Okay, from somewhere I get this 50 pieces again on 30. Okay, now there are two scenarios now. Either Kuswant will say, okay, fine, send me 50 pieces on 20th, that's fine, and another piece, another 50 piece you can send me on 30th. I'm okay with it. Clear? Means partial delivery system is allowing, or Kuswant is agreeing for the partial delivery scenario. That if my quantity is more and you don't have the sufficient stock to deliver at once, you can divide it as per your system or as per the availability of the material. You can divide it. I'm fine with it. Yes. But what if Kuswati say, no, I don't want this kind of delivery. I have given for 100, that's fine. You give me 100. If on 28 it's not possible, that's fine. You give me on 30 because on 28 you have 50. On 30, 50, another 50 quantity will come. So now total quantity I have on 30th is 100, right? So on 30 I can deliver the full quantity because I have 100. So 20 I cannot deliver because I have to deliver at once. So I will, which date I will go? I will go for 30. Clear? So this is your parcel delivery. If you deliver parcel quantity in different dates, and if the customer doesn't agree on the parcel delivery, then you have to take a date on which you can deliver the full quantity. In our case, it will be 30. Clear? So this is also a checkbox here. Whether customer want a complete delivery or he is agreeing for the partial delivery thing. So next we have. Okay, now again you see. Now in this case, how many parcel deliveries we are creating? How many deliveries we will create here?
Two.
Two. That
Two.
means two. 1 second. Yeah. So we are creating two deliveries. Let's say I said okay, or let's say on 30th I got some 10 pieces. Okay. And now I have some stock on first, not first, let's say okay, 10th of May I have another 100 pieces or anything. Let's say I got some 80 pieces. So that's fine. Anyway, the summation is more than 100. So now total quantity when I can deliver on 10th, right? Because I will have sufficient stock. Now, but what will happen in that case? There will be three parcel deliveries. If system or let's say Kuswant agrees for parcel delivery, I have to create three deliveries, right? On 28, 50, 30, again 10, then remaining 40 quantity I will deliver on 10th of May. So total three delivery system is allowing. So that sort of agreement also happens between the customer and company. How many parcel deliveries maximum you can do? You cannot deliver one pieces every day, right? That could also be a case, right? Maybe the stock availability like this only that on 28th you have one stock, on 29th you have one stock, on 30 you have one stock, the 1st of May you have one stock. In that case, system can create 100 deliveries also. System doesn't understand this, right? But this is not feasible. It's not the right way of doing business. You cannot deliver one pieces every day. So some sort of maximum limit you need to put how much parcel delivery system will allow. So that checkbox is, I mean that quantity you can enter in parcel delivery per item. That is here. Okay. You maintain some 2, 5, whatever you maintain, that much only parcel delivery system will allow.
Deepak, how much is the maximum
I
delivery
think
you
9
can
you can
provide?
enter. I believe it's 9.
9.
Yeah, up to 9, I think. Yeah. See, maximum parcel delivery up to 9. Uh, okay, I think D is also available. So if you
Okay,
put D, then I think yeah.
I have one doubt,
Yeah.
Deepak. Like, uh, we have to use VLPOD or direct in BP we can use the VLPOD thing, T code.
Come again.
Like, we should use VLPOD like T code, or in BP we can do it like checking the box.
No, VLPOD is a transaction. It's not a BP transaction, right? Whatever we see here, this checkbox, right? This is under business partner, right? So this checkbox, if you want to put, you have to come to BP. But let me open VLPOD POD also. VLPOD. Let's say customer has confirmed that he has received the goods. Now what you need to do? System SAP will not know, right? How whether you got the confirmation or you got the phone call. So in SAP you have to confirm that okay, customer has confirmed me that he has received the goods. So that transaction is VLPOD. Okay, you go to VLPOD. See, you will give some delivery number here. I don't know whether it will take something or not, but let's see. You see, this customer was not marked for proof of delivery, so it is saying that this delivery is not proof of delivery. It's a small process actually. You go inside and you select the line item and you confirm it. That's it. Because VLPOD is a transaction that is confirming that okay, the customer has received the good. But whether my customer is eligible or customer is relevant for POD or not, that checkbox you have to put in BP. That is the master data control basically. Okay, na?
Okay.
So if you have to
Okay.
put this checkbox, you have to come to BP and in SAP to confirm whether you have received, the customer has confirmed that he has received the goods. For that one, you have to come to VLPOD. Okay. And maximum delivery, I think it's native also. If you see, if you maintain D here, system will allow maximum means no limit will be there. Okay.
Okay, and this POD is not every time
No,
mandatory.
if you put this checkbox, no, let's say for this customer, you have put this checkbox, right? Then every delivery,
Hmm.
whatever delivery you create for this customer, that delivery will be POD relevance only. Okay. Um, and then we have some tolerance stuff, right? How much under delivery, over delivery you can deliver. Because some piece, some material you will send in pieces. So there is no uh, ambiguity between the pieces. If you send 10 pieces, that's 10 pieces only, right? But some material, when you send in kg or in ton, that time some under delivery, over delivery will happen. Let's say customer has asked for 10 ton. You cannot give 10.000, right? Some tolerance you should give. 9, 10.990 kg. That is also allowed, right? 10 kg is less hardly. So loading, unloading, some different weight machine. So that limit you give. How much under delivery I can allow and how much over delivery I can allow. So that also you maintain in the customer master here. This one. Okay. How much over delivery you allow or how much under delivery you allow, that you need to maintain here. As I said, these all are not mandatory. If you are using, if the business requires this kind of control, let's say you are selling something in pieces, right? This customer always buys something in pieces. Then this kind of stuff is not required because pieces cannot have like you ask for 10 and you will give 11 or 12, right? 10 means 10, clear. But something which you sell in liter, in kg, in ton, that time exact 000 matching is not possible. So you maintain some tolerance. If you don't maintain, that is also fine. System will allow anything. Okay. But if you have requirement, you need to maintain that tolerance limit also. Now next we have billing tab. Okay. If you go here, so this is all we call tab actually. Okay. This order tab, shipping tab, billing tab. Okay. These three are mostly important actually. Not three. I would say partner till partner function is important. Just these are not that much important. Okay, you can keep it blank also, no need. But this is something you need to maintain. Few data are mandatory. Without this, you cannot create the sales order. Okay. Now let's go to billing. What else we have important thing? Yeah, see rebate. Rebate, as I said, what is rebate?
It's a discount,
A
special
special
discount.
discount. Exactly, it's a discount, but it's a special discount. How you give? How you calculate this rebate thing?
Condition.
If the customer has done the business like in the certain year, we will if he crossed that limit, we are giving the discount for
Exactly.
him
So it's
only.
kind of
Like it
retro.
is calculated for 6 months and a
Right.
year, right?
That
Before.
time limit is defined actually. It's not 6 months always, or it's not always 1 year. That is something which the customer and the business or the
It is a
company agrees actually. Okay. So basically between some time,
conditional discount.
there is a
Conditional
conditional
discount.
discount, but it's a retrospective. Every discount is conditional, right? Let's say I give you discount like, okay, if you buy me 10 pieces, I will give you 2 pieces extra. This is also conditional discount, but that is not rebate. Rebate means some retrospective means and instantly you will not get the discount. System will check some certain time period. He will see some sales volume, sales amount, some quantity, something you criteria you will maintain. And then system will at the end of that period, system will check whether the customer qualifies for the discount or not. If he qualifies, so at the end of the period, he will get the discount. Okay. Now, as I said, this is something now this field you see in the
Deepak, can we relate this like this rebate to this agreement?
some sort of agreement only, right? When you are creating this rebate thing in system, that is some agreement already. Some agreement happened between the customer and the company, right? But that's not actual agreement. You will say means agreement in SAP we have something scheduling agreement, right? That is something else.
Scheduling
Yeah.
agreement that
No,
was not
scheduling
talking
agreement is
about.
something else. Scheduling agreement means, let's say in our case, uh, let's say this is what Kuswant has asked me, right? Let's say this is the Kuswant requirement. That okay, on 28th you give me 50 pieces, on 30th you give me 10 pieces, on 10th of May you give me 80 pieces. Okay. And I also agreed, okay, I will give you like this only. So this is scheduling agreement. Means how much quantity I will deliver on each date. That is scheduling. This is scheduling agreement. On which date, how much quantity you will deliver. That agreement, if is having, then you can say it's scheduling agreement. That agreement is something else. Rebate agreement is that agreement is happening for discount purpose. Let's say for 6 months, if you buy 10 lakh, I will give you some 10,000 discount. Okay. So that is also where it went. Yeah. So this is rebate actually. See, in general, this we call it rebate. In ECC, in SAP terminology, in ECC we were calling it a rebate, but now in S4 HANA we call it condition contract or settlement contract. Okay, the terms are different, but the meaning is same basically. It's the same thing. Functionality is same. Maybe the T codes are changing, the tables will be changing, but in the real world, the idea is same basically. Okay, so that's why you see here sales invoice. This one you see this checkbox, and also one more thing. In SAP, you can get help of any of the field or any of the menu. Let's say I want to see what this field is all about. Let's say I'm not remembering. You can always press F1. Let me see. This one. This one. Yeah. I'm not doing something else. I think some other field will be there then. Yeah, sorry. Now you see this document basically is from ECC. That's why it says that this rebate checkbox is there in the billing tab. Okay, you see this rebate checkbox. This is ECC field. But in HANA, that checkbox has been moved from billing to order tab. Because this slight difference you will see in somewhere in ECC HANA. This kind of changes you will see. Okay, so it has moved from billing to order. So this is that checkbox actually. Okay, if the customer is relevant for that agreement or that kind of agreement happen between the company and customer, then only you put this checkbox. If this is not checkbox, then you cannot do that calculation at the end of 6 months or 5 months. So it's kind of predefined agreement. So you need to maintain the master data accordingly. Okay, so that was rebate. Now invoicing date. Okay, now let's say then the customer who in every month he is buying goods from you. Let's say on 5th he bought something, on 10th he bought something, on 12th he bought something, right? But what he says, you create the billing at the end of certain date. Let's say he said you create the billing on 28th every month. Some requirement is there from customer for any reason. Let's say for any reason, for billing purpose, for GSTR filing purpose, for any reason the customer has this requirement that you always create the billing on this date only, right? Then that date you will maintain in the customer master, right? Uh, Invoicing date, right? Where is that invoicing date? Yeah. Now you see when you say date, so SAP doesn't understand the date concept basically. So you need to maintain a factory calendar. Like we have calendar here, right? This is our calendar. And as for our calendar, we are working 5 days. So Saturday, Sunday, we have holiday. We are working 5 days a week. There will be some national holiday, like 15th, I think, or 14th, we have some holiday here in Kolkata. Right? So those data we maintain in one calendar. That calendar will give you some, I mean, we will maintain some numbers to that. Let's say 01. 01 means 5 days working, Saturday, Sunday off. Let's say there is another company or another plant or another customer who is working 7 days a week. So you will create another calendar 02. In that calendar, you will mark 7 days working, right? So basically, factory calendar ID is a calendar ID. Basically, you maintain all those holiday and working day there. And I said, if customer has some certain requirement on billing dates, that you need to assign here. So from here, system understand when it has to create the billing for that customer. Okay, we have multiple places where we assign this.
Okay, so
Yeah.
normally so which calendar we use out of this? Like there are 93.
See,
So
93, everybody, as I said, let's say one plant is there for income, your company. Let's say you have 4 plants, right? One plant is running 3 days a
mhm.
week. Another plant runs 7 days a week. Then another plant who is running only one Monday. That's it, one day. So now in one calendar, if you create just one calendar, it cannot fit your three requirement, right? So you need to create three calendars, three different calendar, maybe 01, 02, 03, or Z1, Z2, Z3, right? Three calendar you will create. So these all calendar SAP has already provided as per the information available globally. In China, how many days is the national holiday? So that all data is maintained in the under China. Similarly, I believe something must be there for India also. You see, so SAP also knows, right? And it's all available data how much national holiday we have. But generally, we create our own calendar that we assign. If we have requirement, then only. If you don't have, you leave it as it is. No need to maintain it.
No, it is given by the HR team then,
No, no, not
actually,
HRT.
right?
So this is a plant kind of data, no, or customer data. So why HR will come
Okay,
into picture? HR will come only when it's the employee working date, right?
okay,
It's a customer request. Let's say customer says only I want only on Monday, or let's say customer has requested you, I want billing on Sunday itself, right? So it's a
okay,
customer
okay.
requirement, not your requirement. Or also the plant, how many days the plant runs, that HR cannot decide, right? It's the company owner who decides how many days he wants to run the plant. HR can only decide how many days the employee will work, right? HR has the control over there, but how many days the plant will run, how many days my shipping point will run, that control HR cannot control. In real world also, you must have seen the HR doesn't interfere with those kind of operation, how many days the plant is running. But yeah, if the employees complain that okay, we are working 7 days a week, we are not getting holiday, so that concern HR may raise to the senior director and the owner to the company. That's another story basically. It's not good there. Now, I think that's fine. Here you see how you create the calendar. SPRO, sales and distribution, master data, business partner, billing, document, define billing, scheduling factory calendar. Here you create some factory calendar. Let's say here it is created P5. Any name you can give. P1, P5, two digit. Z1, Z5, anything you can give, and then you assign it. Okay. Now invoice list actually. Yeah. Now in this case, what is happening? There are multiple invoices. You are creating individual invoices, that's fine, but the billing date is common, right? When you are using this invoice date field. But there could be one more requirement. Customer says, okay, I'll buy some in the month of something, I'll buy 10 pieces or 10 separate order I will give you. So now you don't create 10 invoices, you create me a combined invoice. Okay. That kind of also requirement comes from the customer. In the business, it happens actually. So that you maintain in the invoice list date. Okay. So what will happen? System for that particular month, system will only create one invoice collectively. Okay, in consolidating, it will consolidate all the invoices for that particular month and it will create only one invoice. Now we have input term. Yeah, so input term is something basically uh, there are two similar terms actually, input terms and terms of payment. Okay, first you understand terms of payment. Terms of payment, as it the name suggests, terms of payment. It's the agreement or the condition, terms and condition that has happened between the customer and the company, how that customer is going to pay. Let's say today the customer has placed the order for 1 lakh. As I said, in real world, this transaction happens in lakhs and crore, right? And the company doesn't pay instantly. They give some credit. Let's say 10 days grace period or some that kind of stuff happens actually. Let's say today created 1 lakh of invoice, so you will not pay instantly. Instead, what they will say, what agreement it will be there between the company and the customer. Okay, in the next 10 days, I will give you 50,000, and the next 15 days, I will give you the another 50,000. So this is the terms of payment. That is the rule that they have agreed on, right? The agreement this both party agreed. Okay, this is how you will pay me. So that is your terms of payment. Similarly, inco term is something which is relevant for your freight related charges. Freight means how your, let's say any vehicle is carrying the goods from your company to or from your plant to the end customer, right? That transporter company will also charge something, right? So that we call it freight. That inco terms basically is a term of payment or term of agreement between this customer and the company for freight related charges. Okay, and it is also one of the criteria. Said last class we discussed, right? There could be multiple order, and you would combine those to single delivery, right? Order combination checkbox was there in the customer master, right? But as I said, it's not only the checkbox. If you put this checkbox, you can combine those order to single delivery. There are some other criteria also, right? Let's say shipping locations are different, then you cannot combine. So similarly, encode term is also one of those criteria which has to be similar. Then only you can combine into one delivery. If the encode terms are different for two different orders, then you cannot combine those two orders into single delivery. System will show you error that the encode term is different for both the orders. Okay. Now, in terms of payment, all these things is something mostly more into this FI side. Actually, as I said, we just assign it the baseline date, fixed date, this additional discount. All those we don't bother. We simply assign it. Okay, don't bother what is this baseline date, fixed date. Don't bother about all these things. Okay, now let's say let me say payment guarantee procedure. Okay, now let's say the customer comes to you, right? And sometimes in real world, what happens actually, when a big company is running a business and some a small company goes to them to buy some goods, right? In that case, the big company doesn't know the small company whether they are reliable or not, whether they will pay me on time or not, right? So that kind of what do you call doubt will always be there in the big companies, right? Whether if I deliver him, if I bill them for 100 or 1 lakh, 10 lakh pieces or 10 lakh amount, whether that payment will come on time or not, we don't know. So there is some sort of business process we have in real world also that we call it letter of credit. Means the small company will go to bank where they are running the business because the bank knows them, right? How much transactions they are doing. So the bank knows their credibility. Whether okay up to 10 lakh, that's fine. They can pay. They are having that kind of transaction rate every month, so they can pay. I can give you the promise. I can give you the assurance. Or sometimes what happens, the small company goes to the bank, they deposit some money, and they get a letter of credit. Letter of credit means something, some sort of assurance that document or that letter the small company will give to the big company that see this bank has given me this letter. You can trust on me, and if I am unable to pay the money, the bank will be responsible for my payment. Right? This kind of business is happening in real world actually. So now whether you are paying directly or you are going with that letter of credit route, that is something we maintain in the payment guarantee procedure. Okay. Now, let's say what happens, as I said, bank will give you some letter, right? But in that letter, that amount will also be mentioned, right? Bank will not say, okay, you buy anything, I will pay. You buy 100 crore of thing, I will buy no, right? Bank will also mention some amount. Okay, up to 10 lakh, I can take the responsibility for that customer. If he is not able to pay, I will pay on behalf of him. That's fine. It's some sort of mortgage, you understand, right? That kind of business you can understand, you can relate it. Now let's say, uh, let's take another example. In some companies, what happens? Let's say I am the customer. I go to Tata Steel to buy something, and company give me some credit limit. Okay, up to 1 lakh I can buy the good at a time. Let's say I created one invoice, one order I placed for 50 lakh. Okay, 50,000. Let's say 1 lakh is the limit. I have created the invoice for 50,000, and I have not paid yet to the company. Let's say I am going to pay in the next 10 days. The terms of payment was like that, that I will pay in the next 10 days. So now my total limit was 1 lakh, right? Customer between me and Tata Steel, the agreement happened that up to 1 lakh he can give me the goods on credit. 50,000 I have already used it. Now still if I go to company and if I ask them, again I need some material, you send me the material, the amount goes up to let's say 70,000. Now already I have some open or pending amount, pending due is 50,000. Now again 70,000. So now this is crossing the limit of 1 lakh, right? It's becoming 1,20,000. And Tata Steel will say, no, 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 I cannot give you 70,000 now. I can give you up to 50,000, that's fine. But if you want for 70,000, you need to pay me the first 50,000 invoice, right? The payment has to come. So now that 1 lakh is the limit. I cannot go beyond that at a time. If I pay the 50,000 to the company, then again my limit is 1 lakh again. Now I can again buy the 70,000 goods without any problem. Clear? Now, sometimes what will happen, this is the interview question actually. Let's say, okay, now let's go back to our previous process where the bank was supposed to give you a letter of credit, and that letter of credit you give to the company. So again, that is some sort of hard paper the bank will give to the customer, right? That customer will take that paper and that paper he will submit to the company. Let's say they submit it to Tata Steel. Now Tata Steel will create a letter of credit in their SAP for that 10 lakh rupee. That okay, bank has given for 10 lakh of assurance. So system in SAP they create a letter of credit actually. Yes, because that letter is something happening outside of SAP, right? So SAP doesn't know whether bank has issued something or not. So in SAP you need to enter that data, right? So that we call it creating letter of credit. Now let's say you have created the letter of credit for 10 lakh. Now again same thing will follow. Up to 10 lakh only goods will be allowed. More than 10 system will throw error that it is getting more than its credibility and it cannot deliver. Okay, so now this is one of interview question actually. Let's say okay, now this is two cases, right? First is you give customer what do you call customer and the company some credit agreement happened for 1 lakh. Another scenario, you go to bank, you get some 10 lakh of assurance that later you give to the company. Another third process, I can directly pay, right? Let's say Yaswant is another customer. He don't go for the credit stuff and he don't go for the bank also. He has the money, let's say. So what Yaswant is doing is always going to Tata Steel. He's buying 50,000. He pay instantly that time itself. Okay, 50,000, take it. Next time he go again 60,000. He pays right away. So it's a cash customer, right? Now Yaswant is working as or behaving as a cash customer, right? Tata Steel don't have to bother about the limit and all because he's paying right away. Clear? So this kind of customer we call it cash customer. When you have one limit of agreement between you and a company, that is something you call it a credit customer. And when you go for the bank and then you get the letter of credit issued and then you submit that letter of credit to the customer to the company, that is something letter of credit process you can say, right? Now sometimes they will say they will ask you like this. Let's say the customer is not having any agreement between there is no agreement between the customer and the company for credit limit. Okay. And the customer, so now you'll say that customer is not credit related customer, right? But still, my orders are getting blocked. So why my orders are getting blocked for credit related error? Some credit related issue is coming and system is blocking my sales order. Why it is happening? So that we need to take. Maybe that customer is buying based on the letter of credit process. The customer is following that letter of credit process. That's why system is blocking. So how system understand? Let's say you create a sales order. As I said, it could be a cash customer, it could be of a credit customer, it could be a letter of credit customer. So how system understand whether which customer this is and how the payment is supposed to come? That is something you maintain in payment guarantee procedure, right? How the payment is going to come? What is the guarantee for the payment? Whether it's a cash customer, if the bank is going to guarantee me for the payment, or there is some agreement between the customer and the company for okay up to 1 lakh is fine, more than 1 lakh I cannot give. So that data you maintain here. Where you can find it? Let me go to a sales order. I say it quickly. You go to header, you go to billing. You see. So this is something you maintain. When you have, I say, it's a financial document number. We call it in SAP financial document number. But in a real world, that's a letter of credit. So as I said, when you create a letter of credit in SAP, there will be some number, right? When you create a sales order, like this sales order has a number of 5791. So similarly, when you create a letter of credit in SAP, then again some number will come. That document number will come. Let's say it's 1234. So that number you will assign here. You will take the payment procedure 001 or something. I don't remember what exactly it is. But accordingly, you need to take the payment guarantee procedure and then see letter of credit 001. And then you maintain that 1234 letter of credit number here. Now system will not check the credit. System assume that's not a cash customer. System will only check that letter of credit amount, that 10 lakh amount it will always check. If it is exceeding, it will simply throw you error or it will block the order or delivery. Clear? Any questions now? Hello?
No, no, Deepak.
Uh, yeah. Now, account assignment group actually. Okay. So this is something. Uh, mm, okay. Let's take a simple example actually. Let's say I'm running a shop. Okay. Some customer comes to me. They pay instantly, right? They buy the good. They pay me instantly. But you must have seen after each sale, some customer note down that entry into some diary, right? For their future purpose or for reporting work or to analyze the data or for record purpose also, right? How much sale they made today. So they note it down somewhere. In some diary they will maintain. But you must have seen, you must have heard this khata, right? Okay, khata mein likh lo, kal de denge, right? That kind of stuff also happen in the real world, right? In shop. Now let's say you are a regular customer, you go to a shop, you buy something and you say, just note it down, I'll pay in the month of month, in the month, in the end of month, I'll pay. Now that data, that shopkeeper will write in some other diary, right? So that is something he has to maintain. Okay, this much amount is going to come. So basically, what I'm trying to say, he will have some different diaries for different type of customer. Clear? For cash customer, he don't have to bother for the payment because payment has already come. But he needs to maintain that, right? How much sale it happened today. When it's a credit customer, that data also maintained somewhere, but in a separate diary, so that it is segregated for them. So similarly, when any customer invoicing happens, and as I said, in real world it's a diary, you can assume it's a diary, but in SAP these all are GL, general ledger. So you can have the GL, different GL for different customer. Let's say it's a bulk customer, right? Then you can have a different GL. If it's a distributor, then you want to have this data maintained in different diary. So from where you can control with this account assignment group. Okay. I'll show you maybe I don't know whether you will understand or not, but I'll quickly show you where this field impacts actually. So this is the field actually. If you go to the billing, uh, so this is very important field. Okay, as I said, this will determine the GL. In which GL this sale entry is going to happen. Okay, let me show that determination. How this GL gets determined. Yeah. Now you see this field. Now again, how many parameters are there to determine the GL? To determine the GL, how many parameters are there?
Sales
So
organization.
total number, just tell me the number. How many numbers we have? How many numbers of parameter we have to maintain to get the correct GL?
8,
8 or 7?
7,
7,
Seven,
right?
seven.
So these the
7,
7 are
7.
the parameter to determine the GL. Now you see, out of that 7, account assignment group of customer is also one of the parameter to get the GL. Okay, so this is something you maintain in the customer master here. Yeah. Now this is tax classification. Again, this is something more of a finance data rather than I would say SD data, but it comes under sales and you maintain in the sales data basically. So now in real world, what happens? I'll tell you one customer. Let's say uh, Tata Steel is running a business, right? So now let's say uh, some government company, okay? Uh, tell me any name for any government country, government company.
Bharat Bijli.
Sorry.
Bharat
Okay, let's say
Bijli.
Bharat Bijli. Now, Bharat Bilji requires some road for its construction. They are doing some construction. They are maintaining. They're creating some plant. For some reason, they want to buy something from Tata Steel. Now, what we'll see? Now, you see. Let's say I am buying something from Tata Steel. I need to pay some GST to government, right? Because I am an end customer. I'm not the government. So I will pay to the government. But let's say government itself is buying something from a company. Why they need to pay something? You pay something to yourself. Do I pay something to myself? No, right? So similarly, the government doesn't pay taxes. So whenever any government related transactions are happening, that time the taxes are not applied basically. So how you decide or how you control this in SAP, you maintain the tax classification. Okay. So this is how you maintain. Zero means tax exempted. So the customer, when you create a sales order or in the billing for this customer, there will be zero tax. One means liable. So for me, let's say there are two customer. You said Bharat Electric or something. What you said? Bharat Bijli.
Bharat
So
Bid-
for Bharat Bijli, the tax classification will be zero. Means for that company's transaction between that company and Tata Steel, taxes will not be applied. Only the net value will be there, no taxes. But when I am buying something, I am liable for taxes because I need to pay to the government. Government will collect the tax, right? That's what government does. So for me, the tax classification will be one. Okay, how you meant? I mean, from where you create all this? This is something again. I said it's a more of a SD and FI integration. It's not purely our own decision, right? Here, finance also comes into picture. Okay, so from here, basically, you control that thing whether the customer is eligible for tax or not. Those all data you maintain here. Okay, now let's come to the next step, partner function tab. As I told you, this is also one of the important what do you call tab in customer master. You go to partner function. Yeah. So now, partner function means for this customer, if any sale transaction happens, this is basically sold to party. Okay, this is main customer. Whatever you see that we call it sold to party. Here you see the different number basically 670035, and this is here 10092. Okay, as of now these two are different. This is a BP actually. It's a business partner, and this is your customer number. Okay, so when I extended this BP to sales role, this number got created. Clear? So this is a BP basically, and this is your customer number. You can have the same number. Generally, we have same number in most of the company, but for some company, they need to have separate number for BP and separate number for customer. Okay, so don't get confused that okay, I opened 92 and I'm paying 35. Both are same actually. Okay. Now let's come to our point, partner function. So which partner number is playing what role or what function it is playing, that all we decide. Let's say this customer, you must have bought something for yourself and you must have bought something for someone else also, right? Let's say you bought something and you give my address as a shipping location. So in that case, you are the sole to party, you are the payer because you are going to pay the bill, right? Online or via credit card or via cash or via UPay, whatever it is, you are going to pay that. But ship to party is Deepak because the goods is going to be shipped to my location, right? So we have four major partner functions basically. Whenever you create a transaction, four are basically important: sold to, bill to, payer, and ship to. These two, this one, this sales employee have added for understanding purpose. So these four are important: sold to, bill to, payer, and ship to. By default, it will come. Okay, from where it all comes, I will tell you later. Don't worry. Sold to means who is placing the order. Bill to, whose name has to be printed in the bill. Generally, these two are same. What changes basically the pair sometimes changes and fit to party is also changing most of the time basically. Let's say what happens, let's say I run a company or let's say I am running some organization in Mumbai and I have 10 different locations, right? Now what I can do, I can what I will do, I will create one sole to party only. Sole to party is me only. It's my own company, right? I'm just running the business at 10 different locations and I'm buying something from some company. Now, I sometimes I may need to deliver to one place. Sometimes I need my goods to be delivered to the second place. Like all the 10% I need to deliver my goods. So what I will do, I will have some 10 ship to party created in the SAP. I will ask the company to create 10 ship to party address. And the address will be different. Basically, the functions are same. It's all belonging to same sold to party. The only difference is their addresses will be different. Okay. Now, as I said, this is all not only the partner function that you will see in the sales order. There will be one sales employee. There could be a forwarding agent. Let's say whenever I'm buying some goods from customer or from a company, there is a certain transporter which we and the company has agreed. Okay, this transporter will deliver your goods, right? Some agreement happened or some kind of decision has been taken. So that transporter also you can assign here. So whenever a system will create a sales order for this customer, system will automatically assign that transporter in the sales order. Okay. So how it will take automatically? You need to maintain the master data here. In the partner function, you need to maintain that transporter detail here. Yeah. Here, what is partner function?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Deepak.
Let's see what we have. Mm, Which you need to remember. See, who places the order is sold to party. Who is going to you shift to party. This is you see shift to party. I don't know why it is shift to party. Shift actually. It is shift to party basically. Okay. Shift to party. Okay. So basically, who the goods will be delivered. Bill to. Who will receive the bill? Pay. Who is going to pay it. Okay. And where you can see all these in sales order. If you go to, let me go to any sales order. Go to header and then you see the partner. See, all the detail come automatically. So it's also to bill to pair and sales employee. So this is your partner function. If someone asks you what is the partner function for sold to, so it's AG. Okay. And also you need, I don't know whether you notice this or not. Let me open side by side. Now you see, this is your partner function customer master. What is the partner function for sold to party? In customer master, what we call it? No, in
AG.
customer master. This is customer master, right? In customer masters, you see in the states there. What is the partner function for customer master for sold to party? SP.
SP,
But
SP.
you see in sales order what it is? AG. So
AG.
don't get confused.
AG.
Okay,
AG.
both are same actually. Okay, some translation or some linkage is there is maintained in SAP. So sometimes you basically this you need to say SP, BP, PY, and SH. Okay, but in SAP it just the naming conventions are different. WE means ship to, AG means sold to. Some table are there where you can find the relation. Okay, so don't get confused. Someone say what is AG? So don't get AG. I don't see AG. Why? What is AG? So AG is nothing but sold to party only. Okay. I think you can see this thing here, I believe. Let me see. Maybe, yeah, I believe it must be there. Let me indicate it. Not yet. There is some relation actually. Okay, what is AG? How this AG is pointing to SP? There is some table. I'll tell you later. Don't worry. I also forgot so where I can find it. But since as I said, it's a four only: AG, RB, RE, WE. So when you start working in SAP, you will remember. Okay. Now. Okay, I told you, let's say in our case, just what example I gave you, I'm running a business and my offices are in 10 different locations in Mumbai, right? So one way of handling this scenario, you end up creating 10 separate ship to party, right? Like this also you can handle. I'll have create separate ship to party. Let's say 670036 for one, 60037, 67038. Like this also I can create 10 ship to party And then each time when when I placing my order, I'll tell the company deliver to that location, right? Now what will happen in that case? In SAP, there will be 10 ship to party created. This can be handled in SAP by a different way also. How you can do it? While you create the sales order, okay, let me show you it. Because this is something maybe this company will ask, interview this kind of question will come. If a company is running at a 10 different location and every time he wants at a different location the goods to be delivered, how you can handle it? There are two ways, right? First is create separate ship to party for 10 different locations. Other way is when you create order, right? See, I'm creating a sales order. What I will do, I will go to header. I will go to, let me just expand it. I'll go to partner. And now you see ship to party. I will just double click here. You see what I'm doing? I'm going to ship to party line. I have double click on any of this line. You see this pop-up comes. Now I can maintain the new address. Let's say it's a street 1. I'll just type street 1. Right? House number could be different. Let's say something else. Right? Now I'll press OK. Now you see the ship to party address is changed now. But what is the problem here? Every time if the ship to party address is different, someone has to do it manually. So this is another way of handling that scenario. Right? If the customer is having 10 different locations and you need to deliver at 10 different locations based on the requirement. So this is another way of handling that multiple ship to party scenario. Clear? Any questions so far? Okay. Now one thing. Uh, let's say you have maintained some data, right? Let's say you have some data in customer master. Let's not save this. Go to customer. Yeah. So when I create my sales order for this customer, system will copy all the master data into the sales order, right? The header it will copy everything, correct? Now let's say I have created a sales order. And now if I change something in customer master, okay, after creation of sales order, I went to my customer master, went to change mode, I have changed some data, any data. So what do you think? That changes will be visible in the already created sales order? What do you think? What should happen? Think logically and tell me what should happen.
Once repeat the
Let's say
question.
there is a customer master. I created the sales order. I have saved my sales order. And after that, I went to my customer master and changed some customer master data. So now whatever I've changed in the customer master, let's say I've changed the customer group. Okay, for timing, let's say this customer group. When I created the sales order, it was 01. So in my sales order, customer group has came 01. Once I saved my order, I closed that window. Now I went to the customer master BP. I changed the customer group to 02. From 01, I have changed to 02. Now, what customer group will be there in my sales order? 01
Zero one
only,
and
right? Because when you were creating the order, that time the customer master data was having 01. Clear? So basically, what I'm trying to say, after creation of sales order, whatever data you change in your customer master, that will not automatically reflect in the sales order. Clear? But there is only one data
yes.
that will update automatically, that is the address. Okay.
Once can you
Yeah,
show
I can show
practically,
you.
Deepak?
I don't know whether we
Like
have time. I don't. Okay, we'll see it tomorrow. Don't worry. Okay, since it's already 10 p.m. 10 a.m. already. Just remind me tomorrow.
okay,
We will start from here only. Okay, I'll show you how it works actually. Okay. So remember this thing. Every data will not reflect to sales order. There is only one data that will automatically reflect in the existing sales order.